Psychology has long studied the subtle ways people communicate desire, especially women, whose signals are often misunderstood. Contrary to popular belief, women who secretly want intimacy don't always ask directly. Instead, they ask something much more discreet. They often ask about emotional connection, reassurance, or future plans. Questions like, "Do you still find me attractive?" or "Where do you see us going?" are not just about feelings. They're subtle invitations for deeper closeness. These questions are rooted in the past, reflecting values of trust, respect, and commitment. They create a foundation where physical intimacy naturally follows. So, the next time you hear a question about feelings or future, remember, it might be a gentle invitation, not just curiosity. Number 1, emotional connection sparks desire. One of the oldest truths in relationships is that emotional intimacy precedes physical intimacy. Women who secretly desire sex often seek a deeper emotional connection before expressing their needs openly. Unlike the directness often assumed in today's fast-paced world, these women might ask questions about feelings, reassurance, or the future of the relationship. This approach aligns with traditional views where love and trust are the foundation of intimacy. When a woman asks, "Do you still find me attractive?" or "Where do we stand?" she is not merely fishing for compliments. Instead, she is seeking emotional safety, a place where vulnerability is met with understanding and respect. This emotional connection provides a secure environment that allows desire to grow naturally. Such subtle signals are often misunderstood or overlooked in modern dating culture, where directness is often valued above all. But historically, relationships thrived when partners took time to nurture their emotional bonds first. For women, the desire for sex is often intertwined with feeling cherished, understood, and emotionally safe. Respecting these cues requires patience and attentiveness. When a man listens carefully and responds with kindness and reassurance, he nurtures the trust that fuels desire. This creates a relationship dynamic where intimacy blossoms naturally, rooted in genuine care and mutual respect. In summary, emotional connection is the silent language through which many women communicate their desire. Recognizing and honoring this can strengthen relationships and bring couples closer, respecting the timeless traditions that have always guided meaningful love. Number 2, subtle questions reveal intentions. Women who secretly desire sex don't always express this need in obvious ways. Instead, they ask subtle, seemingly unrelated questions that reveal their true intentions. For example, inquiries about future plans, feelings, or reassurance often carry deeper meaning. These questions reflect a traditional approach wherein direct communication preserves dignity, respect, and emotional safety. This subtlety comes from a time-honored understanding that intimacy is not simply physical. It is deeply connected to emotional readiness and mutual trust. A woman might ask, "Do you see us growing old together?" Not just out of curiosity, but as a gentle probe to assess emotional commitment and security. Such questions are invitations to reaffirm love and connection, which naturally leads to physical closeness. Recognizing these questions as invitations rather than mere conversation is crucial. Men who understand this dynamic respond not with impatience, but with thoughtfulness. They realize that answering these questions sincerely builds a foundation for intimacy. This indirect method protects both partners. It allows women to express vulnerability without fear of rejection or misunderstanding. It also gives men a chance to show they value the emotional bond, not just physical desires. In traditional relationships, this respectful approach preserves honor and deepens trust. Understanding and responding to these subtle signals can help couples navigate intimacy with grace, patience, and mutual respect. Number 3, trust builds physical desire. Trust has always been the cornerstone of any intimate relationship. For women, especially those who hold traditional values, trust must be firmly established before physical desire is openly expressed or acted upon. The desire for sex is deeply linked with the feeling that their partner is dependable, respectful, and emotionally present. When a woman asks, "Can I trust you to be there for me?" she is often signaling a deeper longing, not just for emotional security, but for closeness that includes physical intimacy. This question is a way of seeking assurance that vulnerability will not be met with judgment or harm. Trust grows from consistent actions over time, keeping promises, showing empathy, and prioritizing the partner's needs alongside one's own. Women value these traits highly because they create a safe space for desire to flourish naturally. Without trust, physical intimacy may feel rushed or empty. When couples build trust first, sex becomes an expression of their bond, not just a a physical act. This reflects a timeless understanding that love and desire thrive in environments where respect and reliability exist. Therefore, men who nurture trust honor the traditional path to intimacy. They help their partners feel safe enough to share their desires openly, which leads to a deeper, more satisfying connection for both. Number 4, respecting boundaries encourages openness. Respect has been the guiding principle in traditional relationships for centuries. Women who secretly desire sex often communicate indirectly because they want their boundaries honored. They may not ask outright, but instead seek reassurance that their feelings and limits are understood and respected. By asking questions about feelings or relationship status, a woman is testing whether her partner values her as a whole person, not just as a physical being. For example, "Are you really committed to me?" is not only a question of loyalty but a plea for respect and acknowledgement. When boundaries are respected, women feel safe enough to express deeper desires. This respect fosters trust and encourages honest communication. It aligns with traditional views where mutual honor forms the foundation of intimacy. Men who listen carefully and respond with understanding affirm their partner's worth. This encourages women to share their needs and desires more openly, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling relationship. Respecting boundaries is not just about avoiding harm, it's about creating an environment where love and desire can grow naturally and harmoniously, rooted in honor and care. Number 5, patience leads to fulfillment. Patience has always been a virtue in the realm of love and intimacy. Women who want sex but don't ask directly often expect their partners to be patient, to recognize their subtle signals and respond with care over time. Rushing intimacy can damage trust and emotional safety, while patience nurtures both. This traditional outlook honors the idea that desire is not a race but a journey. When a man patiently listens to his partner's questions about feelings or the future, he shows respect for her pace and emotional needs. Patience also means understanding that intimacy grows as the relationship deepens. It allows time for fears and insecurities to fade and for love to strengthen. This approach creates a solid foundation for physical intimacy that is both meaningful and lasting. Couples who embrace patience often experience greater satisfaction because their intimacy is rooted in genuine connection and mutual respect. In conclusion, patience is the key that unlocks lasting fulfillment. It respects the woman's subtle cues and supports a loving, traditional approach to intimacy that values the heart before the body. Conclusion: in relationships, understanding subtle signals is key, especially when women express desire in quiet, meaningful ways. Emotional connection, trust, respect, and patience have always been the foundation for lasting intimacy. By honoring these timeless values and listening carefully to her unspoken questions, couples build deeper bonds that naturally lead to fulfilling physical closeness. True intimacy flourishes not through haste or direct demands, but through gentle care and mutual understanding. Thanks for watching. If you found these lessons helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights rooted in timeless relationship wisdom. Comment below, what subtle signals have you noticed in your own experience? Until next time, take care and cherish the bonds that matter most.